Hello? Hello? Oh, hello, and welcome to The One Show with Angela Scanlon.
I'm Matt Baker. Now, tonight we've gone for the spooky castle feel, and it's all to celebrate one of the most eagerly anticipated films of the year.
Yes, this is a tale that's as old as time, involving a rose, a beautiful woman, and a terrifying beast. Now, we've got the rose, you're going to be the beauty.
So that means you're the...
person doing the introductions. Obviously, please welcome the star of Beauty and the Beast, Dan Stevens. Be our guest! For the rest of the show, but for now you're fine. Wow! Dan Stevens.
Thank you very much. Am I shedding?
There's a little rose for you.
Oh, bless you. Thank you.
Oh,
I should be the one
Dan.
bringing you roses.
That's okay.
No?
We've had a lovely day. You know, we went to see it today.
Did you, this
We've
morning?
been singing all of the songs. It's a
Quite
delight.
catchy, aren't they?
Yeah, very good.
I've had Be Our Guest in my head all day, and I was really
course.
hoping someone would just play it, and it would... You know how you need to sometimes play an earworm and it
Yeah, no,
goes,
just
so
get rid of it.
hopefully I'll
I
go
was
to bed.
kind of hoping you would sound like that in real life.
Well, I mean, I can do.
But this is the thing, because we were actually quite taken by your voice, because it's obviously very resonant and what have you.
Thank you.
How did that kind of happen? And did you have a lot of effect put on there, or
Well, there's a thing that happens to a young man around the age of 11. No, I'm with the Beast. I mean, he's a big fella.
Of course,
There's
yeah.
a lot of resonance there, and it was funny. I was sort of looking at different voices for him. You know,
Tried sort of looking at that, it didn't work.
and then they gave me some fangs, some incredible fangs that looked like I was born with them. I've got my day ones in at the moment, but they gave me some really nice big ones that, you know, perfectly fitted.
Well, there we are. We see them like that.
But I didn't end up wearing them, but I had them to sort of explore and take home, and so I got to go home and freak the kids out, and that was great. And now I, you know, use them on Halloween. But I was trying to think of how a kind of a posh, grumpy guy who was very vain, who'd been cursed with his hideous teeth, would try and hide them and sort of speak. And I would try and have conversations with my kids without giving away that I was, you know, I had fangs. And my daughter knew that something was up, and she said, "Show me your teeth." I was like, "No, I'm not gonna do that." And it started to kind of stretch my larynx, and this sort of beastly voice came out. And that's sort of where it came from. Teeth.
Yeah, it's good.
It has a big effect on the way you talk.
But and obviously, I mean, there's
Clearly.
singing and all that involved, so you obviously aren't be singing in the same way as if you had those. fangs in
Exactly,
too,
yeah.
it's
Training the voice for
difficult.
speaking and singing a bit like
Yeah,
this,
yeah.
really, yeah. And he has a lovely, mournful new ballad
It's lovely song.
in our version of the musical, written by Alan Menken, who wrote the original score, and it's lovely.
Well, we're going to talk lots more about that afterwards. But since we're on the subject of beauties and beasts tonight, we're looking for pictures of the relationships in your life which represent the fairy tale of Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, it could be slightly awkward, this. But anyway, whether it's your partner or you and your pet, please email us a picture. And actually, to be honest, tell us which one's which, because
Yes,
we'd hate to get it wrong on national television.
Shouldn't we aren't we supposed to judge?
Well,
Or is that dangerous?
Why not? Why
I think
not?
it's
We could
dangerous.
get some serious
You can,
litigation issues.
We won't.
We won't, exactly. Well, we were quite surprised that your 2-year-old was partly inspiring for you for
Well,
this particular character.
He was certainly around when we were making this film, and if anybody has ever met a 2-year-old or had one in their vicinity, they might know of a thing called the Terrible Twos, which is, I guess, as close as I've ever seen a sort of human being come to being like truly animal. and so they just total irrational behaviour. It's like this sort of wild thing, like, "Rah!" and this sort of weird stuff. And you get through it, and it gets better. And I'm happy to say he's a lovely lad now. But when I was prepping The Beast, every night I'd come home from the studio, and there'd be this beast in my living room, this tiny beast, and just sort of demanding things, or just screaming and howling, you know. And so I started to look at this, and I thought, well, what an interesting thing. Like, what if this was allowed to go on forever?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And who would that guy become? And if he was a prince? And I don't know. All of these ideas feed into everything, really. But you take what's in your environment, and in my environment was this irrational beast.
Little beast.
Yeah. But I mean, a lot of us have grown up watching Beauty and the Beast and have kind of carried those messages through in our life. And I guess it's quite a big responsibility to be that person that's playing that character and that kind of defining role in this fairy tale story.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great responsibility to be a torchbearer of a fairy tale, full stop. I think. You know, every time you retell it. You know, you have a responsibility, a bit like with those old people and the kids, really. It's about the stories, it's what we pass down, and like the songs that we teach them. Here we go around the mulberry bush. Like, that's not on, there's no app for that.
Yeah.
No.
It's just a lovely old person saying, here's a nice song. And so, you know, an animated film in the 90s, not the first telling of that tale. We probably won't be the last. But every generation that comes at a fairy tale sees something new in it, brings something new out. And I guess with our version, what excites me, particularly with creating The Beast, is that we're using a technology that's never been used before for this kind of fairy telling, you know, where a human actor can be a romantic lead as a big, furry, 6'10" beast and get some sort of emotional connection through and some subtlety of, you know, whatever. It's not just sort of freaky monsters that we're using this technology for now. It's actually lead roles.
Well, shall we have a little look at you as the Beast, asking Belle, who's played by the lovely Emma Watson, to dinner in quite an unconventional way?
Ah.
Just a minute.
You see, there she is. Now, remember, be gentle.
Charming.
Sweet. And when she opens the door, give her a dashing debonair smile. Come, come, show me the smile.
What a transformation. What a transformation.
There's the bangs.
Yeah, I mean,
You wear the
bangs.
bangs well, has to be said.
You watch that and you wonder, so how much of that is you and how much of it is CGI and how did it work? If you start, like, at the top and work down.
Well, the point where we've got to is that with the technology, it's all me now.
Right.
So the body capture was done with, I guess, what we call now traditional motion capture. I was in a giant Lycra muscle suit on 10-inch stilts.
Right.
And all of the Beast's movement and orientation was done on set. And there was nothing on my face, no fur, no latex mask or anything, no cameras dangling down. The facial capture we did separately. Okay. And every week or so, I'd go into a kind of facility that they set up, and I would have my face sprayed with about 10,000 UV dots, and I'd sit in what I called the Tron cage, which was basically UV light, 27 little cameras sat around, and anything that I'd been doing the previous week, whether it was eating, sleeping, singing, waltzing, I would do again with my face and basically just sit there. And I talk a lot with my hands. They'd be like, no, you can't, your hands can't get in the way. So I just sat on my hands and just did everything with my face again. Wow. They would take that information, morph it into the Beast, and then map it onto the Beast body that I'd puppeteered on the set. And so it's a fusion of kind of two performances, really.
And so is your co-star there behind all of this gear?
She was, yeah. Well, in the case of Emma, she was. In the case of Cogsworth and Lumiere, it was just, you know, a lot of imagination, yeah.
How did you waltz with all of that gear? Those sweaty bodysuits on stilts? That's quite
an undertaking. Yeah, I mean, it was a great way to get to know Emma Watson, was just being thrown into dance rehearsals on day one, and, you know, she's looking at me, she doesn't really know me, and I was thinking, like, this guy could break my toes here. And anyway, we, you know, had about 3 months dance training, and I obviously learnt on the ground, first of all. As I always tell my kids, if you think you can fly, try and take off from the ground. And so we learnt on the ground, and then I graduated to the stilts. And yeah, and then, you know, that was it. And I was away, and I never once trod on her toes, so I'm very proud of that.
very good work, very good work. Well,
would I be more proud had I trodden on her toes? I don't think so.
Possibly.
No,
I mean, it's a
no.
story. That's how you have to think
awful.
of it. It opens, of course, tomorrow in cinemas. Dan, as we know, Beauty and the Beast is famous for all of the inanimate objects in the castle coming to life. The
Yes.
teapots, clocks, candelabra.
Oh, hang on, what's all this?
Oh, Dan, I'm pleased it's you sitting on me tonight. You're lovely. Not like some of the people I've had wearing out my springs. Tom Hanks' trousers didn't half chafe, and don't even get me started on Cameron Diaz. Those man-made fibres played havoc with my sinuses. At least you can say you got the best seat in the house.
Hey! And that was all live. well, in the end.
Is he on every night?
Well, apparently, yeah, but he's never actually heard
He's
it
never
before.
actually-
But he is actually there every single
Every
night. Now, we'll just move on because we'll say thank you very much for all of the Beauty and the Beast pictures that you have been sending in. We've got one here. Here we go. This is Lisa from Bristol and her gorgeous beast, Siscock. There we are.
This is Kaylee, the beauty, and her beast of a cat, Merlin.
Oh, this is Jenny's beauty, her 2-year-old daughter, and a beast husband, Alex. Sorry, bud. Sorry, bud.
This is Amy and her dad, Jimmy. They can't decide which is the beauty and who is the beast.
And this is Jem, the beauty, and a human Gordon is the
human.
There we are. There we are. So, Beauty and the
great.
Beast, then, it is out tomorrow. It's very
Yes.
exciting times. But looking ahead, I mean, around the world, it has had quite a controversial launch, to be fair, hasn't it? because I think this is Disney's first film where it's had a character that is struggling a little bit with sexuality and.
I mean, I don't know about that. Have you watched Disney films closely? Just, yeah. No, it's had an amazing reaction all over the world. I've literally, since I last saw it, been right round the planet, and people are mad for this film all over the way.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Well, and also tonight, you wouldn't have seen this, but during the film, we had Hugh Bonneville, who wandered
He's
along the
stalking
back.
us out there.
Lord Grant
He's-
Philomeus,
because they're
Lord
shooting you on
Matthew
air, aren't
Only
they?
1A, and he was out there. Yeah, I'm going to go and find him in a minute.
Yes. Which brings us on to the Downton film. Have you heard about the Downton film? And would you potentially be making an appearance as maybe a CGI'd ghost or something like that?
As a
within the
couch,
Downton
I could
movie?
just be. I could play one of the Ormolu furniture. No, I haven't heard about it. Is it happening?
Apparently it's happening. So could
I'm
perhaps
going to go and ask
Matthews-
Hugh Bonneville.
Get
We'll
in
drag him
there.
in here right now.
Yeah. Would you?
Would
do
you?
it?
Could you? I don't
Could you,
know.
should
I
you?
mean, it sort of depends if they have a role for me in it, really.
Yeah. Well, it would be you as a ghost, presumably.
Probably,
Or
yeah.
identical twin.
Or some sort of reanimated corpse or something. It could get very sci-fi.
Yeah. You
Do you
never
know,
know.
I know last time you were here, we were talking about, a decision to leave and this, that and the other, but it has been such the right thing. I mean, you've got 5 films coming out, haven't you, next year?
Been a busy 5
It's
years,
mad
yeah.
for you now.
Yeah.
It really is. But anyway, thank you so much for your company.
Thanks for
tonight.
having me.
Thoroughly
Always fun.
enjoyed it. That's all we've got time for. A very big thank you to Dan. There we are. Beauty and the Beast. As we were just saying there, it opens in cinemas tomorrow.